Congress had made inquiries concerning an issue of great importance for the country, and concerns have been raised about the department's performance. I have great confidence in the men and women of this department, but no department is perfect. Accordingly, I will forward to appropriate DOJ components all information I receive from Congress regarding this. I am determined that we will fully and fairly ascertain the truth. We work for the American people and are accountable to them and those they have elected. We will meet that responsibility. Yeah, see, this is where the real energy and focus of your department needs to be, is rotten corruption within the most secretive and powerful agencies in the United States. The misleading of judges, the spying on political opponents. This is where you need to focus your bifocals, brother. The big threat to the Republic is not the use of medical marijuana. So this is really the most vetted president in the history of the Republic, because all of this stuff was surveilled, was wiretapped, and they got nothing. If they had something, they wouldn't be doing all this Russia investigation bullshit, which again, a year and a month and nothing. So this is the do or die moment for the Republic, for freedom. This determines the next 1,000 years of human history. Understand? You have to stop letting people get away with terrible, terrible things. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, George W. Bush, hell, George H.W. Bush, Lois Lerner, Wasserman Schultz, all of these people, these fetid, unholy, Jabba the Hutt, deep swamp sewer dwellers, need to be held accountable. Compared to the war in Iraq, FISA Memo is pretty small potatoes, but maybe small potatoes is all that justice can digest at the moment. This is the last chance. It will not come again. It will not come again. This is a do or die moment. This is clear evidence of ungodly malfeasance on the DOJ and the FBI. So it leads upstairs. It leads to Obama. Do it! Have an objective rule of law. Like, we get all these ethnicities and they're all living together. You cannot have the soft bigotry of lowered expectations. If Obama knew about this stuff, find out and do something about it. It doesn't matter that he's half black. It doesn't matter, any of that stuff. There's a rule of law. And if women and minorities are exempt from the rule of law, you get civil war. You understand? Stakes are kind of high here, guys. Kind of high. Because when people are continually exposed to this information, this is really important to understand. In the past, information about government malfeasance was largely kept at bay when the left was in power and the Democrats were in power by a complicit and compliant mainstream media, that being the Hollywood. This is why you have all of these movies about sexual abuse in the Catholic Church and no movies about the far more widespread sexual abuse of children in government schools. Because the Catholic Church stands between the left and their goal of dictatorship and government schools, while they fund, through union dues, they fund a lot of leftist initiatives and they brainwash children into leftist ideologies. So people are now seeing, because of the internet, because of the alternative media, because of Trump, people are actually seeing the corruption that everybody knew was there beforehand. And it's so funny seeing people on the left steadfastly and staunchly defending the FBI. And since the 60s, since the summer of love, oh my God, well, they'll say anything to get the power that they need. So people are now getting all of this information. And because they have this information, not decades from now, not in history books, but right now, which was kept from them before, now that they have all of this information, they really can see not the gap. It's not the gap between what the government or the FBI or the DOJ say they're going to do and what they actually do. That's not the gap. That gap's kind of been understood and known back deep down by anybody who's followed this stuff for years. The real gap is now that this information is out, does the vote matter? Does the political process matter at all? Years ago, my first big video was called The Truth About Voting. And I conditionally changed my position on that because of the unique candidacy of Donald Trump. There is a man and his allies, which are few, standing against everything and everyone. Trump's approval rating close to 50%, even after the unbelievable slagging put upon him by the mainstream media. We have a man standing against the deep state. We have a man standing against the media Democrat complex. Of course he needs his support. Of course he needs his allies. Of course he needs his clarifications. People voted for him because they wished for state power to be curtailed. And they wished for there to be borders. Now, state power is to some degree being diminished because taxes are lowered, regulations are being diminished, prototypes of the wall are being built. But people now need to see if their vote matters. They need to see if the man they put into power to take on the deep state can do it or not. Now, don't expect to do him alone. Do not expect him to do it alone. Politicians have to read the country. They have to figure out what's possible in the political environment, which means you need to start shifting people's opinions in your life. Well, it's risky. People might be upset. Well, compared to what? Compared to what? Look, in history, when the left gets their way, they kill people. Brothers and sisters, they kill people by the millions. Look at when the left gets their way in the French Revolution. Look at what they did in Ukraine, starving millions of Ukrainians for failure to comply with Soviet communist edicts. Look what they did in communism. Look what they did in all sorts of totalitarian movements. The killing fields in Cambodia, North Korea started off as a communist country, now has devolved into the usual cult of dictatorship. Look at Cuba.
Trudeau's favorite place.
For kicking in your doors at 4 o'clock in the morning and dragging you away to be disassembled for body parts and fed to the fishes. People might not like you. Compared to what? Might be risky. Compared to what? History tells us exactly what happens when totalitarians take power. And when people can't take it anymore, they will take to the streets. Now, we've seen a lot of groups. We've seen a lot of groups riot over the years. We've seen a lot of groups engage civil disobedience. It's been quite a while since the Patriots did it, though. Been quite a while since the Patriots did it. And it is, of course, my hope that things can be resolved legally and peacefully. But that comes down to the will of the executive. It's been quite a while since the Patriots engaged their disobedience. It's kind of how America started, if you remember. If the law fails, it may be how this phase of America ends as well. Thank you so much for listening and for watching. If you find these reports helpful and informative,